Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today our vlog will be about Istisna. We are 5 group members. I am Abdul Aziz. My friends are Yasir bin Hassanul, Zulkarnain, Abdikadir Ibrahim, and we have Siti Nur Aina. We have selected 2 Islamic banks which we'll be studying on. First of all, Maybank. Maybank is one of the largest Islamic banks, not in Malaysia only, in the whole world. Maybank provides its services, the Islamic financial services, from its subsidiary which is called Maybank Islam, which is an Islamic window for the bank. Maybank is located on Jalan Ampang, the headquarters in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And we also have Bank Islam. Bank Islam is also operated in Kuala Lumpur for its headquarters. It was the first Islamic bank to introduce Sharia complement products inside the Malaysian market. And it was established on 1983. Yes, 1983. Since then, it has been 30 years, 40 years, and its paid in capital grew from just like 76 million to more than 500 millions today, and the authorized capital is over 2 billion, which shows that it's such a huge bank in the market. I will be passing my mic. I will passing the mic to my friend to show you more about the bank Islamic products and the financial statements, reading of them. So yes, please take the mic.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So let's move on to the Istisna financing. It's a sale contract between 2 parties, and where the subject matter does not exist yet. So the seller will have to manufacture or construct the asset and then deliver it to the purchaser. So it's usually used to finance infrastructure assets such as power plants or airplanes, highways, and the payment can be made immediately in installments or deferred to a future date. So there's 2 types of istisna. General istisna is where there's 2 parties in the contract. So first of all, the buyer and the Islamic bank will enter into a contract, and the buyer is called Istisna, and the seller or the Islamic bank is called As-Salih. Second type of istisna is parallel istisna with 3 parties: the ultimate purchaser, the Islamic bank, and also the manufacturer who will manufacture the product, because perhaps the seller does not have the expertise to manufacture the product themselves. As for principles, there are multiple principles, such as whether istisna is legitimate, and it is, as long as subject matter is not haram, and also the type, the kind, quantity, quality of the product being financed has to be specified, so as to remove gharar from the contract. Also, the price and the date has to be fixed so that minor gharar is not there. The contract is also binding. Well, there's actually differences of opinion, but if the contract is not binding, then the purchaser can get out of the contract whenever they want, and vice versa. There's also the purchaser can also put a penalty in the contract if the seller does not fulfill their obligations, whereas the seller can also get a collateral so that to make sure that the purchaser will pay on time. Lastly, the contract can be terminated in 3 ways. First of all, by non-fulfillment of obligation by both parties. Secondly, if both parties consent to it, to mutually cancel the contract, or for judicial reasons. As for parallel istisna, they have an additional principle, which is that if the buyer stipulates that the seller has to construct the asset, then they have to do it themselves. They cannot get into another istisna contract with the manufacturer to construct it.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. So we go for issue on istisna financing. So basically we have a lot of issue, but in this video I will only emphasize 2 issue on istisna financing. The first one is the date of delivery of istisna product, either it can be fixed or not, and also who will be liability if there is a defect on the istisna product. Right. So according to the Hanafi, okay, he said that the date of delivery product cannot be fixed, because if the date of delivery of the product will be fixed, the istisna contract will be salam contract. It is not Istisna anymore. But according to Abu Yusuf and Maqadul Amnad bin Al Hassan, he said that we can fix the delivery of the date. And also the current practice right now, what we do is we fix the date of delivery of the product. And the argument is it is also a part of the sales to avoid the gharar. Therefore, we need to fix the date of delivery product. Okay. And on the second issue is, in the current practice in Malaysia, if there is a defect on 2007, if there is a defect on Istisna product, the buyer or we as the customer of the bank need to pay the exact amount as what we already agreed in the contract. And this is not fair, right? According to the ROF standard, we have the option to clear and to confirm. Either if the product have defect, we can cancel it or we can accept it. Or maybe in the other argument that we can reduce the price. Okay. In the view of Maliki, we can only cancel it if the defect is major. Okay, so right now this is the practice in 2007. Okay, so that's the issue.
For the basis of preparation, to start with accounting standard. The accounting standard of both banks is MFRS 9 or IFRS 9 as well. For the currency, the financial statement of both banks are presented in Malaysian ringgit, which is also the bank's fractional currency. The framework of both banks is Bank Negara Malaysia introduced the Sharia governance, Bursa Sah Malaysia, Malaysia Securities Commission regulation, presentation and disclosure of the Istisna. According to MFRS 9, the product is measured as asset at amortized cost.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Siti Marina. Welcome to the analyzing part. So I'm going to present on the percentage of Istisna financing with a comparison of total Istisna in Maybank Islamic as well as Bank Islam, and we would like to see also the percentage of growth of Istisna financing between both banks. So in Maybank Islamic, for the year 2015, the Istisna financing only 0.07%. For 2016, it is only 0.06%. And 2017, it's only 0.05%, and 2018, 0.05%. And lastly, in 2019, the Istisna financing is 0.04%. Moving on to the Islamic Bank, whereby in 2015, 2016, and 2017, the Istisna financing has the same percentage throughout the 3 years, which is 0.05%, and it declines a bit at 0.03% in 2018 and reached its lowest at 0.02% in the year 2019. So let's take a look at the growth percentage throughout the 5 years between both banks. So firstly, we're going to see on the Maybank Islamic, which in 2015, as to compare with 2014, the year 2014, it has a growth of 5.53%, and it declines to zero because 2016 and 2015, there is no inclination or declination between 2 years in the Istisna financing. And then it declines more until it reached negative 13.71, and it rose a little bit to negative 12.04 in the year 2018, and lastly it reached its lowest growth, which is only negative 14.95% in the year 2019. So take a look at the Islamic Bank. In 2015, its growth as to compare with year 2014 is only negative 9.43, and it increased a bit in the year 2016, which is negative 6.46%, and then it declined back to negative 10.9% in the year 2017, and then it rise again in the year 2018, which is negative 3.45%, and it is somewhat the same with the year 2019, which is approximately to negative 3.5%. For the presentation in the Maybank Islamic, it is presented under statement of financial positions, and it is further disclosed under its notes to the account of the operations of Islamic. And moving on to the Islamic Bank, it is disclosed under statements of financial position. Also, for further disclosure, it place it under notes to the account of financing, advances, and others.
To conclude, we can say that Istisna financing is still not favorable in Malaysia when there are a very little percentage in the consumption. It is suggested that bank hire specialists to increase the awareness of the benefits in Istisna financing. Therefore, many people will benefit with using of the Istisna financing.